Good morning, class. Good morning, Professor Vance. Unfortunately, I can't make it with you guys this morning, so we're going to experience my presentation through video. My name is Orlando Roman, and I will be discussing with you our class project, specifically the UCF phone banking event. I'm going to cover briefly several subjects. Those subjects include resources needed, planned implementation, strengths and weaknesses, and lastly, the lessons learned. As many of you already know, we partnered with A. Philip Randolph Institute, also known as APRI. This organization contributed to much of the key resources needed for this event. Such resources included cell phones, local phone listing of potential voters, information the callers and voters might need about early voting, where that is location, dates, and other pertinent information. The location itself became a resource. We as a group and class utilized the second floor of the UCF Student Union. Though it presented some difficulties, we were able to, in the long run, be accommodated for all our needs. Most importantly, ourselves, yourself, the participation and volunteerism of the class as a whole was one of the most key resources used in this event. Plan implementation. The location and date was set up between the collaboration of Professor Vance and our A. Philip Randolph Institute liaison, Ms. Phyllis. Sign-up sheets were provided during class session to students so they can secure the participation for the event. Several students on the day of the event gathered at the UCF Student Union. Ms. Phyllis and one of her associates met with these students at a predetermined time with all the needed materials, and the students worked together for approximately 2 hours contacting voters in an attempt to educate them in early voting. Strengths. In the beginning of our phone banking session, the APRI contacts gave a brief training session before the event so students can become more educated and knowledgeable of the resources provided to the voters. The UCF phone banking event had great attendance and student participation. And overall, we believed we strengthened the resolve for people to go out and get out and vote. Many of the people we came in contact with, they expressed excitement and enthusiasm for the up-and-coming election and vowed to get their vote counted. We did experience weaknesses. There are issues concerning contact lists provided by APRI. There are repetitive numbers on the list. Some phone numbers were disconnected, and some were even nursing homes where we couldn't get in contact with the individual specifically. We questioned the usefulness and purpose of the phone banking event. The APRI contact list only targeted elderly African American population, many of whom were already informed of early voting and knew what they were going to do for election day. We experienced a lot of hang-ups because people didn't want to be bothered at the time. The UCF phone banking event took place between the hours of 7 p.m. and 9 p.m., so people were spending time with their family, eating dinner, or preparing to go to sleep. We experienced difficulty abiding by the script. Students needed to jump back and forth on the script in order to adapt to each specific conversation. In the long run, we did learn a lot of lessons. For an event like this to take place again, we need to secure the location ahead of time to prevent any discrepancies, such as what we experienced at the UCF Student Union. It'd be best to diversify our target groups by reaching out to other potential disenfranchised populations. When partaking in phone banking, it's necessary to routinely update the contact list in order to provide the most possible up-to-date and accurate voter population. Flexibility and accessibility. By scheduling more events at more convenient times, it would most likely increase participation. And finally, time. Establishing earlier times for the events will improve the likelihood of contacting more voters. In summary, the phone banking event presented an opportunity for us as a class to get together and apply macro techniques in a real-world setting. In the end, this concludes my portion of the presentation. I want to thank you guys for your time, and hopefully I see you guys next week in person. Have a good one.